Happy morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome you all for the very interesting 2 days conference on practical issues and important aspects of charitable trust or institutions under the Income Tax Act 1961. Organized under the aegis of Professional Development Committee of ICA, hosted by Bangalore branch of ICA. Almost for a long period, we having this mega 2 days conference on charitable trust. For this session, we have very important dignitaries to inaugurate charitable trust and Act 2 very close to their heart. We are going to witness those chief guests here. I request CA B.T. Shetty, Chairman of Bangalore branch of ICA, invite our chief guest, CA I.S. Prasad sir, FKCCI President, onto the dais. Welcome with floral bouquet. May I request our committee member CA Divya to welcome our today's senior faculty Suresh sir onto the dais. I request Phanindra to occupy the seat. And I welcome, once again, I welcome past chairmen. Yes. SRC chairmen, FKCCA members, and also we are pleased to have virtually joined by our Central Council member, Babu Abram Kallivalli sir. Welcome to you also, sir. And I also welcome all the members, those who are joining through virtually and physically. Welcome you all once again. May I now request Chairman B.T. Shetty sir to address the gathering.
ಎಲ್ರಿಗೂ ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ. Hearty welcome to Jnanarjane, Empowering Excellence. Friends, today, after a long time, we have arranged this 2 days conference on hybrid mode, both on physical and virtual. We had enough virtual programs. We thought it's time to come and have some networking. Those who are really interested to come on physical, and still it is open for virtual also. Many preferred virtual and joined. On behalf of Bangalore branch and on behalf of all the participants, hearty welcome to all the participants joined on virtual and those who are present here. Friends, regarding today's 2 days conference on charitable institutions. The reason behind this one section as a 2 days conference, because the number of charitable institutions in India or not-for-profit organization in India is too huge a number. Can anyone guess what is the number? Yes, 34 lakhs non-profit organizations in India. having seen this number, the government also thought, yes, there is something there in this sector. That is the reason they came out with the renewal of all the charitable institutions and allotting a unique number to all the charitable institutions, charitable and other institutions, even educational institutions. In India, yes, this sector is playing a pivotal role in both economical and social sector. The amount involved is too huge. We chartered accountant can play a big role in this sector. My friends, several members are telling not much of opportunity, but we are not trained to look for opportunity and grab it. Maybe our future council members really look into this. I wish and I expect our future council members really look into this because they are come out with the new networking guidelines. But in our education system, this training of leadership skill is not involved directly. I request they need to make that as a mandatory subject, marketing and leadership development, so that we can grab those opportunities. There are n number of opportunities available in the market. It is not necessary the mandatory opportunities, friends. That is the reason your branch conducting this 2 days conference on this not-for-profit organizations, educational institutions related issues. There are n number of issues involved in that. And government want to take the every pie spent there, every pie received by those institutions. The amount involved is too huge because now the CSR 2% of corporate profit. It is almost 3% of the GDP is corporate profit. Out of that 2% is a huge number. This becomes mandatory since last 2 years. Spending of corporate social responsibility fund is mandatory to spend. Otherwise, there is a huge penalty prosecutions. Friends, these NGOs are eligible to take those funds and spend for the general public. As a partner in nation building, it becomes our responsibility to educate those institutes to comply and manage with the proper code of governance. In that regard, this 2 days conference. Friends, we are really fortunate to inaugurate this most important conference. We have an eminent chartered accountant, a person who dedicated himself for the social service and a passionate about this service. Is none other than Dr. C.I.S. Prasad. Is the current president of FKCCI, a very, very important organization in Karnataka. On behalf of Bangalore branch and on behalf of all the participants present here and virtual, hearty welcome to our chief guest. Friends, this program, this very important 2 days conference is organized under the aegis of Professional Development Committee of ICAI. A dynamic leader of that committee is Chairman C.A. Babu Abraham Kalliwayalil. On behalf of Bangalore branch and on behalf of all the participants here, sir, joined virtually, hearty welcome C.A. Babu Abraham Kal. Hearty welcome, sir.
Thank you, Chairman.
Friends, we are really fortunate. We have a good number of past chairmen. As very senior, more than 30 years ago, CA Harish Kumar Shetty was the chairman of this branch. Hearty welcome, sir. We have many other past chairmen, past SARC members are joined here. Hearty welcome to each one of you. And members from other branch also are available here. Hearty welcome to each one of you. Delegates, you are the reason for this program. Your interest whenever we announce programs, overwhelming response and registering and participating in these programs made us to organize more and more such programs. Hearty welcome to each one of you. let me take a minute or two to inform some of the important programs, particularly the social responsibility programs of Bangalore branch. Definitely you feel proud that our institute is doing these kind of programs for the general public. One such program was we conducted in the beginning of the year was training the faculties of commerce faculties of various universities. We conducted 6 days, 18 hours of practical training for the commerce faculties. In BCom and MCom, this GST was introduced sometime in 2018 in their syllabus. Unfortunately, post that COVID came and not much of training happened for those faculties. We thought it a good idea to train them so that they can disseminate that knowledge to students. It's a multiple effect. More than 1,200 commerce faculties joined for that training program of 6 days, 18 hours of practical training we given to them. It was a wonderful success. Across India, from various universities, commerce faculties joined. Bangalore branch conducted that program. The second important program we conducted was Urban Local Bodies Accountant Training. This program was conducted under the aegis of Public and Government Management Committee of ICAI. We have conducted urban local bodies, municipalities, town panchayats, boards and all accountants. They are conducting double entry system of accounting. However, it is not that well-trained accountants are doing. That is the reason Bangalore branch conducted 6 days, again 18 hours of training for them. So it was a very, very successful and everyone enjoyed. It can be continued year after year. And it is sponsored by the Public and Government Management Committee of ICAI. Then the latest one program which everyone feel proud, and it is very, very satisfying for the Bangalore Management Committee of Bangalore branch. We conducted a career-oriented practical training for RC College. RC College is one of the large government college having more than 4,000 students in commerce field. We selected 80 students and trained for 110 hours of practical training on various GST, income tax, TDS, accounting. It's a practical training, hands-on training. It's not virtual in their computer lab. Post completing that 110 hours of training, we conducted a campus placement. Almost all got placed. So that is another important program we conducted. In addition to that, currently we are commencing coaching class in the same college for CA Foundation students. More than 50 students, they registered for CA Foundation now. We are conducting physical coaching class for CA Foundation in that college campus itself. And that coaching class fees is subsidized by one of the corporate from their CSR fund. So we are charging very, very nominal, just 2,000 rupees for the students. Actual cost coming 9,000 per students. Just we are charging a nominal 2,000 for the students. 7,000 is funded by a corporate. And it is all these programs are sustainable without any financial support. Only we are giving support from the branch management committee side. Otherwise, there is no cost to the branch in financial terms. However, logistically, yes, we are involved. The managing committee is wholeheartedly supported all these programs. That is the reason we could able to do it. Definitely, it's a proud moment for all the members of our institute. Whatever best possible. In addition to that, we have conducted blood donation camps, sapling plantations, and many other social responsibility services we conducted. In addition to, there are several programs for the members on various new areas of practice. Things are changing. Everyone knows that. That is the reason we are conducting all new areas of practice which our members can train themselves, equip themselves, and face the challenges posed by us. We cannot no more wait for this mandatory work. We have to look like a businessman, add value, and generate more GDP and earn our income. That's going to be future, whether you like it or not. Government is going to come out like that. In that regard, Bangalore branch is conducting several such programs to equip our members. I really thankful all our members for their wholehearted support. I request many more members to come forward and look about bangaloreici.org for all the upcoming programs which definitely help them people who are regularly coming always come and see and participate. There are people who left out. They are simply murmuring that not much opportunity, not much opportunity. But those who are coming out looking for opportunity, there are a number of opportunities. When economy is growing, opportunities are lined up for the chartered accountants. There is no dearth of opportunities. However, we have to look for that. For that, your branch is doing a number of programs, which please participate and look for those opportunities and take lead in that. With that note, once again, hearty welcome to each one of you. Thank you. Over to Divya.
Thank you, Chairman, for your kind welcome address. A very pleasant good morning to all the dignitaries on the dais, to all the members present here, physically and also virtually. Welcoming all of you once again, I would like to take this privilege to introduce our Chief Guest and Guest of Honor for today's program. We are blessed to have C.I.S. Prasad Sir as our Chief Guest for today's program, who is practicing as a chartered accountant since 4 decades in the name of I.S. Prasad & Co. He has held many positions in his professional organization and other institutions. To name a very few, he is president of FKCCI for the present year, and he was also member of Board of Studies of ICA New Delhi, Regional Council member of SIRC of ICI, Chairman of Fiscal Law Committee, Treasurer of SIRC of ICI. He was also co-opted member of IT Committee, ICA of New Delhi, and he has held various positions like he was a Secretary General for Vaishnavi Vidyaniketan Trust. And he was also Vice President of Vasavi Union, Vice President of Janaseva Trust. Sir has also been recipient of Kannada Rajyotsava Prashasti for the contribution to profession and social service from Newspaper Association of Karnataka during 2020. With this very brief introduction, I wholeheartedly welcome to you for today's program, sir. Hearty welcome to you. Members, we have with us C.A. Babu Abraham, sir, as today's guest of honor, who is Central Council member of ICA, Chairman Professional Development, ICA. To give a very brief introduction about him, by qualification as BCom, FCA, Certified Information Systems Auditor, Postgraduate Diploma in Information Systems Audit, Insolvency Professional, and also certificate holder of Forensic Accounting and Fraud Detection. He was Southern India Regional Council member, chairman, and president of Cochin chapter of ISACA USA, director of State Bank of India, chairman of Membership Development Committee. He was also past chairman of Ernakulam branch of SIRC of ICA, founder president of All Kerala Chartered Accountants Association. With 34 years of standing experience as practicing chartered accountants, is managing partner of Babu A. Kaliavalli & Co. Chartered Accountants with 10 partners. With this very brief introduction, I also wholeheartedly welcome you for today's program, sir. Hearty welcome. Dear members, we have our first session speaker, CA Dr. N. Suresh with us, who is a graduate in commerce from Bangalore University and a fellow member of ICA. He is also PhD holder in taxation system and practices in India, NGOs, NPOs, legal systems and practices in India. He has presented several papers and given lectures at seminars and conferences conducted by various professional bodies. And his recent books are like Practical Approach to Taxation and Accounting of Charitable Trust or Institutions, Interesting Issues in Charitable Trust or Institutions, A Practical Approach to Foreign Contribution, Regulation Act 2010. He is also vocalist in Carnatic music and specializes in KP astrology. He was also co-opted as a member of Committee for Cooperatives and NPO Sectors, ICI. With this very brief introduction, I wholeheartedly welcome to you for today's program, sir. Hearty welcome to you. I now request dignitaries on the dais to come forward for lighting of the lamp, and also request other managing committee members to kindly join us.
य एष सुप्तेषु जाग्रति य एष सुप्तेषु जाग्रति कामं 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 कामंशो पुरुषो निर्मिमाणः निर्मिमाणः अदेव शुक्रं अदेव शुक्रम् तदेवामृतमुच्चये अस्मिन् लोकः अस्मिन् शतः सर्वे तदूनात्यैकश्चनान्यैकश्चन एतद्द्वैता 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 एतद्द्वैता
Thank you all. I now request our Vice Chairman to kindly come forward and give overview of today's conference.
It's my privilege to give an overview of this program. This 2 days programmed in such a way that how to form a trust, how to draft. Every act has got a litigation. What are the major case laws involved? FCRA, GST impact, governance altogether. These 2 days is covered. The first session is handled by our CA Dr. N. Suresh. Practical issues relating to charitable trust or institutions under the Income Tax Act 1961. The second session, the critical issues and landmark judicial pronouncement relating to charitable institutions, CAGS Prashant. Between 4:30 p.m. to 6 p.m., the practical aspects on formation of trust in respect of PF, gratuity, pension fund, including compliances under the respective laws, is handled by CA Suresh Kumar S. With this session, our first day programs will end. The second day, first session between 10 to 11:30 a.m., we have a session on practical issues under FCRA 2010, focusing the Foreign Contribution Regulation Amendment Act 2020. This session is handled by CA PV Srinivasan sir. And between 12 p.m. to 1:30 p.m., GST applicability to charitable trusts, societies and Section 8 companies is handled by CA Jatin Christopher. Between 2:30 p.m. to 4 p.m., corporate social responsibilities covering analysis of provisions including additional changes is handled by CA PV Srinivasan. The last session of the second day of this conference, Code of Governance for NGOs, is handled by CA S. Vishnumurthy sir. With this program overview, I over to Divya.
Thank you, Srinivas sir. I now request our guest of honor, CA Babu sir, to kindly address the gathering.
Chief guest of the day and my good friend and former colleague in the Regional Council of the Institute, and today as the president of FCCI, CA IS Prasad, dynamic chairman of the branch, CA BT Shetty, charming secretary of the branch, Divya, and vice chairman of the branch, Srinivasa. Today is a learned speaker, Dr. Suresh. Other members of the managing committee, distinguished past chairman of the branch who is participating in this 2-day seminar organized by the Professional Development Committee, organized by Bangalore branch under the aegis of Professional Development Committee. At the outset, let me congratulate the chairman and the team for organizing this seminar, which is very, very relevant. And as all of us will agree, traditionally India has always not only recognized the third sector or the civil society, but also attached great importance to their work. Our temples and religious institutions were institutions known for humanitarian work, especially through free food distribution, giving shelter to people of the lower strata, and so on. Charity was always on the high agenda of trade and industry organizations, even when the idea of CSR was never thought of. At personal level, I think all of us even ready to spare a meal for an uninvited guest or for the insects and animals who might be hungry. But as the chairman of the branch gave an overview, in the last 2 decades, the NGO sector has witnessed a mushrooming growth in our country. And we know, as far as the organized sector is concerned, public trust is one of the important means of NGO, and for the societies, Indian Societies Registration Act, and under the Companies Act of 2013, we have Section 8 companies. Therefore, these are one sector. Probably we as chartered accountants need a lot of hand-holding, because within the organization there may not be a structured setup to support the accounting framework, the financial planning, and the compliances, and where probably the chartered accountants can help them either as a virtual CFO or as a consultant in taking care of these compliances. Therefore, this shows the importance of this seminar. I'm sure we have, the chairman has and the teams have selected best of the speakers and the very relevant topics for this seminar. I wish all the seminar, and I thought I'll briefly also take an overview of the Professional Development Committee of the Institute. It was established in the year 1962, and communicate with the different sections of the society and educate them on about the role of chartered accountants is one of the important missions of the Professional Development Committee. Enhance the skill sets of chartered accountants by also organizing seminars, workshops on contemporary areas of interest. And I would also like to share the good news that we are very close to the enhancement of bank audit fee. In fact, this month we had a meeting with the Governor of the Reserve Bank of India, followed by a meeting with the Deputy Governor and the Executive Director. And previously we had a meeting with the IBA Chairman. And I think now all of them has principally agreed that the bank revision of the bank audit fee is overdue. Therefore, we are also going to have a roundtable suggested by the Governor to sort out all the issues relating to the banking sector. Yesterday, we closed the MEF empanelment, which is one of the important activities taken by the Professional Development Committee for the purpose of bank branch audits as well as for the public sector audits with the panel which we give to the Controller and Auditor General of India. Therefore, and we are trying to bring in utmost transparency as far as the bank branch audit allotments are concerned. In fact, there are a lot of complaints we know, but the Institute through the PDC has developed a very robust software for the allotment of bank branch audit without any kind of manual intervention. Last year, out of the 12 public sector banks, 6 public sector banks has used our software. Some of them has used it 100%. Some of them has used it at a lower level. And this is one item which we have taken with the RBI during our discussions, that either the allotment should be taken care by the Reserve Bank of India, or it should be taken care of by a software without any fear or favor. This has also been appreciated by the Reserve Bank of India, and we at the PDC very closely monitor the tenders which is being floated for various. We all know still there are a lot of issues. For example, recently SEBI has floated a tender for the forensic auditors, which is actually in violation of the CVC guidelines. We have immediately taken up with the Therefore, it is an endeavor of the PDC to build up new professional opportunities. Therefore, we seek your suggestions. And one of the priority area is corporate sector audit, which we are taking it up all levels, including at various state government levels. I wish this seminar all the very best and a happy learning for next two days. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir, for your very kind address. I now request our Chief Guest to kindly address the gathering.
Very good morning. First, let me begin with I am not a chief guest, I am part of this institute. So I just came representing FKC as the president of FKCCA. At the outset, let me begin with my address by the most dynamic chairman of Bangalore branch, and he says in the beginning that this is a hybrid, where actually physical and virtual. I'm sure that our chartered accountants knows that either cash accrual or accrual, there is no hybrid system. So you begin with, again recall the hybrids way of doing programs. The most dynamic vice chairman, the Srinivas, the most dynamic secretary, C. Divya, and my good friend, the colleague at Regional Council, now Central Council, Sri Babu Abraham, and many of my friends here, I think the past Regional Council Chairman, Harish Kumar Shetty, and my colleagues in the FKCCA, the batsmen, three batsmen, Shravan Gadutur, the Ravindra Korea Digital Chairman, and Ganpat Kawar. And so I wish to recognize my friends, my good friends, because of certain election procedure, I am not able to recognize them, but I welcome all of them and all the participants and my dear colleagues. Today's workshop talking about the critical issues in the charterable institution, the GST implications. Well, all of you know that the post-COVID, like the 100 years afterwards, what we've been faced, the turmoil of this COVID wave 1 and COVID wave 2. And our Prime Minister of India has been dreamt of 5 trillion economy. The charity begins with more than 5,000 years. And you are aware that the Foreign Contribution Regulation Act cancelled registration of 6,600 institutions for the various reasons. And already pointed out by Chairman B.T. Shetty that there are 34,20,000 charitable institutions. Now, all of you know that actually charitable in those days is family oriented, would like to do something. Today the definition of charitable institution before once talks about not for profit, they have been amended that they can be a surplus. What is our role as chartered accountant to the nation? Because whatever the government not able to function the line, the institution been established and served for the cause of public. And I have been associated with the Cancer Drug Foundation and again Lions Hospital and many institutions. I have seen that how this institution has been depending on various resources, be it donation and grants. All of you know that recent advance ruling talking about not all donations and grants which are received by the charitable institution be exempt from GST. Well, GST is very clear that all transactions by the charitable institution within the definition of supply will come GST. And again, there are exemptions. I do not want to dwell upon because the learned speakers, my good friend N. Suresh is encyclopedia and again author and also research in the charitable trust. being chartered accountants, we have come across a lot of issues, and we have seen the challenging profession now. The e-governance, the e-initiatives, and today gone are the days where we can take the back seat, and you've seen the NEFRA talking about how the profession, even they want to just dilute the number of audits, the number of audits exempted from GST. The government is very clear that I think going forward e-governance, they think the presence of chartered accountants is very not much relevant. But I think we at the institute, I think already leaders have been here, the chairman of branch, though you have to go through central council. It's a need of our to make the government known. Because as president of FKCC, I have limitation, because I cannot just make recommendation before the government to bring back all the audits, because Chamber of Commerce is meant that how to do ease of business. But when the government wants to do ease of doing business, but also should give that how the charter will be played very important role. I think the new team which is going to come, Central Council, has lot of responsibilities towards the profession. And last 2 years, I think as a chartered accountant, as 40 years practicing chartered accountant, we have seen survival versus existence. I stand before you as the president of FKCCA that almost like 40% of the MSME is a verge of closure. They do not have the resources, and you have seen the price rise like a BP. Every day the price rise has been increasing. They are not able to get the support from the government what they have to get. Here, what actually I urge upon before all of you, as a chartered accountant, it's our responsibility to see that we support the MSME to survive, by which they create the employment, they continue to survive, they get more opportunities. As the president of FKCC and as a chartered accountant, my endeavor is to see that going forward next my tenure, to see that how we can, each one of us can make the difference in the life of MSME by advising and also forgiving like little fees during COVID time and support them by which they continue to survive, contribute for the state economy. And all our chartered accountants have been working day and night with the caution that you have been seeing in the papers that we always compromise and also without much going into the detail here attest. That the chartered accountant profession is a noble profession. Let there be 2 or 3% what they been think of government. And I had an occasion to meet the finance minister, and every month we'll have an occasion to meet the finance minister. And I had an occasion to meet the Prime Minister of India 5 times. I'll certainly take up as a dual role as a chartered accountant and the president of FKCC to see that the vision of the Honorable Prime Minister to achieve 5 trillion happens only with the support of chartered accountants. And if the chartered accountants can come forward, support the MSME, we are constituting a district task force committee across Karnataka. We will prevail upon the role of chartered accountants to support each and every district, because ultimately the district's progress will nation progress. I would not like to much stand before you, and this is a very important critical where the nation going ahead with 5 trillion economy, the challenges, and you have seen the regulations, and again the opportunity for re-registration of trust for 12 and ATG once in 5 years. There is opportunities before us. It is for us to choose what kind of right opportunity. While we do carry on the profession for survival, at the same time we should also step in to see that how we can contribute, how we can make the difference of life in human beings, and how we can educate and empower MSME, and how we can continue to see that they sustain their life and sustain their doing business by which we get the opportunities. With this, I am sure that all the participants will be immensely benefit by the deliberations of all the speakers, and thanks the chairman for giving the opportunity and be with you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ayush sir, for sharing some of the finest thoughts of supporting MSMEs. I'm sure that all of the chartered accountants will definitely, be a support listening to your great thoughts. Thank you so much once again. I now request dignitaries on the dais to kindly do the honors to our president of FKCCI, one of our standing pillar for our senior institute. We also request Shravan Guruttur, Ganpathan sir, and also Radha Tore sir, and Thomas on the dais. Members, I'm very glad and happy to share that our past 3 chairmen of Bangalore branch have become directors of FKCCI under the great leadership of our Hayes Prasad sir. So it's time to recognize them. I now request Shravan to kindly come on dais and please I request our chairman to kindly greet him by presenting a floral bouquet. Big round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. I request Ravindra Kore sir to kindly come on the dais. I request Ganapat Lal sir to kindly come on dais. Thank you so much all of you. I would like to conclude today's inaugural program with a small vote of thanks before we move forward to the technical session. My wholehearted sincere thanks to our chief guest of today's program, Hayes Prasad sir, and also guest of honor, CA Babu Abraham Kalivalli sir, and also all the dignitaries present here on the dais, off the dais, to all the members present virtually, physically here, and to all the dignitaries who have come from other state also to today's program, all the members from other branch. Thank you so much all of you for active participation in today's program, and we shall conclude this. We shall start with technical session.